We have a philosophy, and that's mortgage lending made easy.
We list it, and then we're in it together, like a marriage until it closes.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Welcome to Up to Date in Real Estate.
with Claire and David. Or David and Claire. I'm Claire.
Hi, and I'm David. So today we want to talk about what to do when you prepare your home for sale. You know, right now we're coming into the spring market, and it really is picking up. We're getting calls with regularity, more and more on a daily basis, and it's just really starting to get to a fever pitch. And people are looking to put their houses on the market. People are looking to buy homes. So there's a lot of activity.
There is.
And one of the questions we had was, what should one do, or what should a family do, or what should be done when you're looking to list real estate, a home for sale?
Well, it would be nice if the weather was warmer here.
Today is beautiful.
Yes.
Today is absolutely gorgeous.
And that we don't get any more snow April 10th. But so the most obvious would be to prepare your house inside and out.
So cleaning?
Yes. So outside, so again, it's just like, unfortunately, everything that, society dictates, it's what the outside of your house looks like.
Curb appeal.
Yes.
Yes.
Before I go in. So the yard being picked up, branches, bushes being cut. So I think a lot of people, we haven't been able to do that because the weather hasn't been that great.
It's very hard also. I mean, this whole spring cleaning idea, it's a real thing. And to have a nice curb appeal, it's this early in the season is difficult to do. But if you get together with a gardener or with someone who actually has the ability to foresee what's going to happen when you plant this bulb, those seeds, that kind of thing, it wouldn't hurt to have someone's opinion or read a book.
But it doesn't really even have to be that difficult. You can power wash the front of your house,
Okay.
which makes a huge difference.
The sidewalk too, or?
You could.
Okay.
But I mean, so to power wash your house to make it clean, because everything looks better when it's clean.
Sure.
If your front door needs to be painted, maybe
Or even freshened.
freshened,
Sure.
a red door, a blue door.
Contrast.
Yes.
Sure.
Throw a wreath out there, floral, whatever.
Home touches. I got it.
Yes. Do something on the, do they call it stoops here? Stairs?
Doorsteps.
Doorsteps? Concrete steps?
Some people have porches, some people have
Porches.
doorsteps.
If you put something there,
A mat, a welcome mat.
anything. It could be even when the weather gets nicer, put some flowers out there.
Sure. Or like a topiary type of thing.
Yes.
To really just kind of give the front some character.
And make sure that your gutters are clean.
Yes. But also, once you go past that, see that's the strange twist, because coming from the outside and making it interesting and making it appealing adds. Usually, you want to add a wreath or a vase or something that you want to put something together to present a picture of welcoming to the home, like a doormat, etc. But once you go inside, you want less of that.
Yes.
So it's one of those things where, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when you walk up to a house, you want to see that picture that you saw on the magazine. You want that appeal, that curb appeal. But when you go in the home, you don't want to see other people's stuff. You want to look at that home in its barest possible capacity, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But if we could just go back for a minute to go back outside.
Okay.
So having things taken care of outside translates that the house has been maintained.
Yes. Okay.
So that's why, and you think I'm being funny when I say make sure your gutters are clean, because you can't have trees and grass growing out of your gutters.
Okay.
You know how there's some people who always look down, there's some people who always look up? There's always somebody in a buyer party that is always looking up. And they're looking at the gutters. So if you have grass growing in your gutters or a small little tree that I've seen,
Well, it's nice for the fall, the foliage
Yes.
change of colors.
But it's going to come across that you have not maintained
Yes.
your house.
Right.
I mean, I know that sounds a little crazy, but that is huge.
Well, it begs the question, are there bugs? Is there insulation? It starts to pull out every possible catastrophe, sort of, if you will, or some sort of efficiency with the property itself if it appears to be, not maintained. And then all of a sudden the value of that property can fall,
Yes.
an indeterminate amount by, what is it, 10%? Is it just a random $10,000 number? Or what, is there a formula, or is it just a basic understanding that if it's well maintained and it looks good from the outside, you're more likely to get the asking price for the home?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
yeah, that's just basically it, because that's just like anything.
Right. You sure?
That's just, and then when you go in, less is best.
Mm-hmm.
Everything off your counters,
Mm-hmm.
because then it makes it look bigger.
Okay.
And so it just goes back to making sure that everything's clean, like your windows.
So you don't want the Nordic in front of the windows?
No.
Okay.
And we don't want clothes hanging off of it.
No.
And you can't have that mentality, well, everybody does that.
It's the outside closet. It's the closet that is
Right.
in the living room.
Yes. And dirty towels and laundry, and people are okay when stuff is in the basement, because everybody knows that's where everybody's stuff goes, is in the basement.
Okay.
So just declutter.
Well, how important is it to dust?
Extremely.
Right.
Just like, but I'm not saying that people need to go out and hire somebody to come in and professionally clean their house.
Okay.
I'm just saying, get really excited about getting your house ready to go on the market. Like, wash your windows,
Okay.
wash your house,
Okay.
and get it really, that you're proud of it and that you're excited to put it on the market.
Like, not to be crass about anything, but if you're going to sell a boat or a car or any other sort of asset, going to put it up for sale, to put it in its best possible light, whether it be jewelry, clothing you're looking to sell, anything you're looking to sell, making it appear in its best possible form, that's going to probably bring the highest possible price.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
keeping that in mind and being cognizant of the fact that, if it were you on the other side of things, looking at whatever it is that you'd be hypercritical of.
Absolutely.
You know,
Water stains in the ceiling?
Sure, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's indicative of many things:
Yes.
mold, damage, rot,
Yes.
bugs, etc.
So that, I
Sure.
would absolutely not put a house on the market that had water stains
Address
in the
it,
ceiling.
definitely.
Paint it, get rid of it.
Yeah.
If you have a leaky sink, if your toilet is just old and you know how you can't get rid of the stains in your toilet, go buy a new toilet.
Yeah, and they're not that expensive.
No.
You can
And
get a
just
water efficient
things-
one for less than
just
$200.
things like that. Because as beautiful as your house is and as neat and clean, when they leave, they're going to refer to that house as the house with the dirty toilet. I promise you.
It's true. It's
Yes.
true. Things stick out, and if if there's something strange, like for example, if you have a baby grand piano in a 10 by 10 room,
Yeah.
that's how you're going to describe that house moving forward.
Yes.
Using the room wisely, use space. That's important. And if you have a situation like that, obviously you have to deal with it because you can't really put a baby grand anywhere. But it's happened.
And we talked about this before. Go across the street from your property
Absolutely.
and look at your house.
Sure.
And look at it from a different angle. And if something sticks out to you, most likely it's going to stick out to somebody else.
You never know how you look through somebody else's eyes, and it's always a good idea to take another perspective. Walk up the street and just look down at your property objectively. Cross the street, go up the street. However it is that you just take a look at what's going on and be discerning. Think about, what do I see here? This is not my house. This is a home. What would I change about this picture? And that helps. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have talked about that.
Yes. So, so going back into the inside, so having it clean, having it smell clean, but not like ammonia or bleach or any of that stuff.
Not sterile like a hospital?
Yes, no, and setting it for it to be shown at any time. That you're ready to show at any time.
Sure.
So you have to make your bed. Bathrooms have to be clean. You can set the lighting if you want, if that's something that you want to do, if there's certain lighting in the house that you think looks great.
Well, this is Connecticut,
Music.
so well, absolutely. And in Connecticut, you have a lot of old houses, and through the turn of the century, people weren't really concerned so much about outside light coming in, and that there are many houses that are situated, with trees and so forth. So you want to be able to take advantage of what you know is the best lighting for the home. So if you want to make sure all the windows are open. You want to
Yes.
make sure that if you've got one of the houses that has not removed the French doors and the door to the kitchen, from the
Yeah.
kitchen to the dining room, from the dining room to the living room, you need to make sure that those doors are open. Things like that to make the room, just make it airy, make it feel comfortable, inviting.
Now, it's funny you said that about the doors, because what I always try to do is keep one open and keep one shut. Because there's some
Okay.
people who don't appreciate,
The use of the door.
yes,
Okay.
and they won't notice it. So you want to, and I'll tell you, I always shut them so somebody could see them.
Really.
Because,
And on another point, if you actually have removed the door and the door is not there, take the hinges off.
yes,
Just take the hinges off.
yes, that's a good point.
It's a hazard. If you have small children, there's going to be stitches in your future.
Yes,
So, things like that. From the outside in, really it comes down to curb appeal, and then just the idea of decluttering.
Yes.
And basically presenting it as a clean,
Well-maintained.
inviting, well-maintained property. And that will help drive the value of the home, help you sell the property
Yes.
more quickly, and make the real estate agent's job that much more
yes,
seamless when it comes to finding buyers to be able to show your house and negotiate for the better price.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it should be effortless then.
So advice would be in that now that we've gone through this whole process of preparing the house for sale and putting it in its best possible light. Now comes the point of having the house listed for sale.
Yes.
And that's where the real estate agent comes in and then starts to take pictures.
Yes,
You want to have, again, the same situation. You want to have as decluttered as possible. You want
Yes.
to have as clean as possible. You want
Correct.
the house to be as brightly lit as possible. So then with that, you have your agent take pictures. And how many pictures does an agent usually take?
usually they only take like 25.
And
You
how many
should
are
take
allowed?
like 45.
Really?
Yeah, you should, because you don't know how it's going to look after you upload them, download them.
Sure.
You don't know, how did the picture come out bad? Did I get a picture of myself in the mirror as I was taking a picture? Nobody wants to see that.
Well, here's another question. There's a lot of talk these days, and there's the question of should you use video or should you use pictures when it comes to listing a home? For one, I don't know that video is necessarily a better option than pictures.
Well, video, it depends on how long it is. Somebody doesn't want to sit and watch that long of a video. And a lot of times with the pictures, I know with me, when I'm whipping through the pictures, I know in 2 seconds whether or not I like that house.
Well, even on that front, if you can go through so quickly, one drawback of video is that, and listen, video is fantastic, and it does a great job, and it
Yes.
really puts out an in-the-moment kind of feel. But the satisfaction of being able to flip back and forth, oh wait, what was that picture again? How I get back there, back and forth. Your control at the way you peruse that property, I think, is a higher impact. So going back to the 25 versus 45 pictures, how many of those pictures are generally put out at once? All of them?
Like I said, I see probably 25 pictures usually listed in Emmett. There should be more.
Okay.
And I know that that's hard, but when I take a listing, I try to literally walk into the house and do this and just start, because there's something I want. And I always want to see the angle of something. I want to see the angle from the kitchen into another room. I want to see the angle from the kitchen into the living room. I don't want to see a hallway, though.
Funny you should say that. I remember the last house I purchased, and it's all about angles. I remember when I moved into the home, I brought my furniture in, and I was finally done unpacking everything, and we're in the house. And I sat down, and I had made it a point to position my chair so when I'm looking out the front window, I see nothing but trees. And it appears to be a wooded area. And I live in a neighborhood. But if you position and you take the right angle, it can be very serene, it can be very comfortable. And having that perspective, someone who takes the time to look for those angles, I think that's important.
Yes, it really is.
And it presents the house well online.
It really is. And then you have somebody who will say something, well, I want to do the hallway because I want people to see where the rooms go. I have never seen a good picture of a hallway.
It's tough.
It really is tough.
Rob.
Yes, too. And sometimes it does the opposite. It makes
it look small.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I always stand in the hallway and go into a room this way so you can see the angle going into a room. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the only way is if you have a foyer.
Fisheye.
Or, no, if you're in a big house that has a foyer,
Sure,
it's
okay.
a different story. But in a standard home, the hallway I don't think really does.
Especially the houses that are built around 1927 and 1935. I mean, that era of home, there are thousands of these colonials out there. And they all have hallways. And they're skinny.
And a really fun way, too, to take pictures is to stand on something and take them looking down. Because it's a great visual to see it that way. So sometimes you have to think out of the box. I move furniture. I fluff pillows. I do all of that stuff. I certainly ask permission first before I do it. But yes, because those pictures are going to determine whether or not the buyer is going to go into that house.
Sure.
They don't go into the house and then go look at the pictures online. They're doing this with their cup of coffee or it's 11 o'clock at night. So those pictures are going to draw them to go in.
And to go back to that, that's where the video photo thing kind of works together. Having the ability to have a video of a walk around of the house or a walk of the property or something to that effect where you can actually see the outside of the house in the neighborhood and the pictures of the inside of the house. Because it just allows you to see different angles, but at the same time, a video of the exterior could go a long way to let you see how the yard feels when you're walking the house. And that can do a lot by helping someone want to come and see that property.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Good point.
Hey, thanks.
All right.
It's like I'm a professional.
You are.
So really, the idea being it's a matter of taking enough to relay the message, if you will, because with the percentage of people who find their homes online now is exceeding 80% now.
Oh gosh, yes.
And that's really where it begins. Everyone is looking at how, if someone's looking to make a move, if someone wants to buy a new home, it used to be they would go to a real estate agent, they would get into the book, they would flip through pages. What's there? What's out there, right?
Yeah, they were in black and white.
Yeah, it was such a great portrayal.
Right,
You'd
right.
walk into someone, woo, hello, can we leave?
Yes.
But
or you
now,
don't even get in.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
So now when you get out there, it's you have a pretty good idea of what you're going to be walking into. And if you shortchange yourself by not having enough out there, or having the bad angles, the bad pictures, the low lighting, or pictures of the toilet, things like that, you could really take away from the property.
And it's funny because there are certain houses, and I know realtors say it amongst themselves. I've heard buyers say it, you show that house. That was the house that had the, purple kitchen. That was the house that had this about it. So people remember sometimes not always the good about a house.
They remember what stands out.
Yes. So I think that it's really important not to have, one, your property be that you're selling, and two, you're a buyer and you're out looking at properties on the other side of that too. If you see a purple kitchen or whatever, it's just paint. You can paint it. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, that also brings up another thing, and that really does. And and I hear you. And for a good real estate agent, they can overcome things like that. But for the individual who's looking online without their agent, they may fly right past that. I'm not looking at that house. There are advertisements out right now. Funny you should say Purple House, because there are advertisements for real estate, and the picture of the house drives, and the color of the house in the picture drives how many people are going to respond to that particular advertisement. So, I mean, it's a big deal. So
We were talking about that at property the other day, about that room.
which
There was that really nice listing online, and then there was
the
this
blue
picture of a room.
Was it the blue room?
I don't remember what it is, and I says, "Oh my goodness, I'm so nervous."
It was the wall, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And it was a bedroom, and it was. I was nervous. I wasn't even in the house. So that's true how it affects people, and that's online.
So going that direction, and one thing I think we did overlook, and we maybe want to bring back, is the color tone. You want to be as neutral as possible.
Yes.
You know, you don't want to be stark white because that's just sterile, and people don't respond to that. But
No.
warm earth tones, sages, beiges, things like that.
Sages.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
Were you an
Earth tones.
interior decorator?
Once upon a time, perhaps.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Anytime recently.
Yes. So yes, that is important because you want people to, when buyers walk into a home, they need to start figuring out where their furniture is. They need to start planning, oh, I could live in this home. So you want them to be calm, but you want them to be excited.
Right. And if you have something outrageous like a checkerboard wall, they're not going to be able to think about
Yeah.
how they're going to decorate that room.
I need to get
All
out
they
of
can
the
think
room.
about is get rid of that wall.
Yeah, or I have to get out of
Right.
this room. It's
Yes,
making me crazy.
yes.
It's true.
I know.
It's very
I know,
true.
I know. The distractions. So
Yes.
low distractions, no noise, but soft music if you can, lighting, smells.
Smells, yes.
Making the house comfortable.
Yes, absolutely.
Take enough pictures.
Right.
So those are the things you should do
Yes.
to really help your home, get ready for sale. If you have any questions, just let us know. Reach out to us. But tune in again, and we're sure to have another subject for you to help you out with your real estate questions. Till then, take care.